Alright.
And as a point note, Caesar will spend 4 hours during the camping and setting up, foraging for extra food.
Oh, I thought you were going to say doing calisthenics to prepare for this role.
So that'll count for basically his whole 8-hour day. 4 hours of marching with everyone, 4 hours of food. Everyone else sets up the tent.
Actually, I'd like to go out searching for food with you.
My 4 will rotate their endurance.
Alright. And those of you who are hunting today are going to take a penalty to it because you lost some time dealing with the bodies.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the counter penalty dice then.
Is it searching or is it observation for?
Mind, searching, and survival is what I saw.
Well, I've got survival at least. I do not have searching.
Well, the D12 helps a lot. Just not me today.
Does it help? Does it help a lot?
So, penalty to Dr. Caesar's foraging because exhausted. It's apparently doing rather well. And the rest of you...
Max is okay.
Oh, we got here. Who was hiking? Was it?
That's right. So yeah, the GM rolls 2d4, and if there's a 4, then that's the penalty that or the numbers. Yeah, if he rolls 2 successes, we have to have 2 successes. If he rolls 1, then we have to get 1. If he rolls 0, then we're fine.
All right. So
is that it?
Does he roll collectively or for each individual?
Oh, that's up to the GM.
Probably easier to just do the one roll, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm just going to try and mix things up, one for each. Altosian?
Okay.
Nope. Griffin?
Well, botched it anyway.
A 3
Not
and a 4
quite.
versus my 1 and 2.
Desmond? Nope. Arcoid? Actually had one.
Ow.
Really worn out.
And Liz.
Yeah.
So what?
think
This
I
is
rolled
for
one.
exhaustion, and do we roll against this or no?
We already did, I think was the point.
It's how many successes you need.
Right. So if he didn't roll any successes for you, then you're fine. As long as you don't roll a 1, I suppose.
I have 3
I think
dice.
mine was 3 and 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's versus 4. So with a 3 and a 4, you would have to have 1 success in order not to get exhausted.
All right, I have 2d6 and a d12. Would roading have helped me, or should I try to roll?
Roading, if with 3 dice, roading would give you 1 automatic success.
Okay.
Hey, you're just trying to beat the dice number. You're not trying to get more successes, are you? That's not the way I read it.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Because it seems to me it's like a penalty, kind of like a range one for like rallying, and it just keeps getting harder. Because it doesn't seem to be going against. Doesn't seem to be anything else in there saying anything about going against success numbers. That's
okay,
why the
maybe
number.
I misread it.
I mean, I'm not exactly sure either. I just never read that way to me.
All right, we can look it up after the game. How are we doing?
It looks like I'm definitely exhausted.
Seeing as I botched my hiking roll, yeah, I'm exhausted.
All right.
So I'll just put that as a reeling mark for now.
And how many of you went out hunting?
Caesar did.
I also did.
Neferu, Rujek, Rob, and Don did.
And how did those go?
We voted for 1 success each.
I failed.
I got my 1 success, so that's 1 day eating.
All right.
I suppose Max should do that too, so it's body, will, and searching.
And are you feeding your followers in addition to the people who bought their own food?
If I had extra, I probably would have, but otherwise, they have their money, or rather, we got them their food for the journey.
All right. You
Yes.
gave them shares.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep a track of how many days worth of rations I've succeeded in saving.
Right.
All right,
Same
that's a
here.
good
I'm
way to
keeping track of
handle
it.
days left in the journey too.
All right.
All right. So near the end of the second day, you're starting to look for a camp. So this is after your second exhaustion roll.
Okay.
Okay,
There's an
I'm gonna make-
encounter.
So this is day 2 roll for me. Caesar is not as exhausted this time, hopefully.
And against this, it's for what is it for rolling against exhaustion again?
Body and hiking.
Thank you.
I got another 4 on a D4. Both hiking checks, man. I also got an 11 on my survival roll, so maybe this time I'll find some
Damn
food.
botches and is exhausted.
Caesar
So
will go ahead
tired.
and share like an extra food with one of the mercenaries.
So have we marched 6 hours this day? Or 5 hours? Is that what we're doing?
No.
Day
Second
2?
day, hour 4.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't lost any time, so we can just keep it to 4 each day.
So around the time you start looking for a camp, you come across what looks like an abandoned farm. Fields are overgrown, and Kamali, basically lizard cow, wander the pasture untended. Sitting next to the door of the house is a wolf with a stern expression on his face. And he's just watching you walk on by. Interested, but not really doing anything.
Y'all best
Well,
not be
that's
from the
odd.
bank.
Well, I mean, he lives here, so give him a friendly wave.
Maybe if it looks abandoned and there's just seems strange to me. Should we ask him if we could use his lands to camp? Maybe?
I mean, do we want to?
Good question. Is this the area we're stopping in, the one with his farm?
I mean, you could go past it. You could stop here.
I'd rather
Well, I
not.
just meant, like, is this the 4th hour?
Yes,
This
it
is
is.
the urban. Okay, cool. So, if we don't intend to go further, we should perhaps say hello and tell him what we're doing here.
Sure, I'll go walk
Well-
over there.
Yeah, Max will come with you because then she can talk.
It's a good skill.
Hell?
Well, hello there, neighbor.
We're just passing through this area. I wonder if we have permission to camp on your property. I see here.
My property. This ain't my property. My name is Hagen Mac Armid. I sit here because that yellow-livered Luke Mac Egoth is off cowering in the hills somewhere rather than facing me.
So whose
Oh.
property is this?
Looks abandoned.
Lugade Mac Egoth.
And that's different from the name you just said, right?
God.
Was that in character or out of character?
I guess both. Again, I am very
Good.
stupid.
Well, Max is trying not to be too aggressive and says, so tell me more about what's going on here. You have a rivalry or something, and that'll do a gossip check.
All right.
One
You
success.
see this house here? This is Lugade's house. This man, he would like to think that he can do as he pleases and expect no one would stand up to him. But I am of Ermid blood, and I was brought up to say what's right, to do what's right. I don't expect you outlanders to understand our ways, but here we take our land and our Kulmali seriously. This Lugid, if he thinks he can get away with stealing from my land and rustling from my herd, he has another thing coming. And then he goes on about how Lugid has wronged him. The gist of the story is that Hagen believes Lugid and his family have been stealing from Hagen's property.
Ah, I see.
And to be clear, that's the guy who's living in the woods now?
Lugade is the man whose farm is here. Hagen is the man who's standing on the porch.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Lugade is the guy who he's waiting because he thinks he's living in the forest. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm just trying to make sure there's not like a third or fourth party with a name that sounds the same, because these people and their names. It's full of phlegm.
Well, we'll tell him. Oh, we've got no quarrel with you, and since the coward Hagen is hiding out Hagen's the one hiding out in the trees or in the woods, we'll just take the liberty of.
No, it's Lugade that's hiding out in the woods.
Lugade is hiding in the woods.
See, it's hard.
Yes, we'll just take the liberty of camping here for tonight, and we won't interfere with your grudge.
Very well. I'm expecting a Brehon to show up in 4 more days. Until then, I am just standing sentinel.
Has his house been abandoned?
Whose house?
I guess this is Lugade's house.
Lugade's house, yeah.
Lugade himself, he's not just a thief, but a coward. No doubt he's taken to the hills, hoping that I will weaken first. He will stand up and shout to the hills, shaking his fist. You hear me, Lugard? Hagen's still here. You won't be rid of me that easy, you mudbug. Damn. As for his brood, they claim they are off searching for him, that he's disappeared.
Well, I've got a proposition for you. What if, as we've said, we need to camp out in this house? You've blatantly said he's abandoned it for the time being. Well, what if we just stay in his house, and if he should show up again, we'll send word back to you, so that you might be able to get some rest.
Not until the Brehon has judged in my favor. There are ways we do things here, Outlander.
You know, I'd be insulted if Outlander wasn't such a cool title to have. They call me Outlander.
I wonder if he's truly missing, though.
I think that's the point, that he's not truly missing at all.
Well, I'm supposing perhaps he is. Wondering if that's maybe cause for a little concern.
I saw Lugid steal that Kumali with my own eyes.
Why didn't you stop him?
Coward outran me.
With a Kumali? That seems improbable. Wait, sorry, that's too big of a word. That seems not likely.
Desmond. Like elbow Desmond's like, shut up, we're gonna stay here, don't jinx it.
Well, he just saw the lawman is coming. What's he gonna do? Attack us before the lawman gets here?
I don't know.
It's not even his property. We don't have to ask him for permission or anything.
Let's not make him mad.
Look, my name is not McCoy. We're fine.
Anyway, he has no actual objections to you just setting up tents. But as a matter of national honor and the rule of law, such as it is in these barbarian lands, he is not going inside the house and requests that you don't either.
What if he's hiding inside the house?
You know, you
Well,
can knock on
then,
the
when the
door.
Brayhan gets here,
How long ago did you send for the Brayhan?
let's see. I sent out my son to retrieve him 2 days ago. It should be 4 more before he returns.
Wow, okay. I was just kind of hoping the Brayhan was going to be here a lot faster than that.
Yeah.
We'll be back in some 20 days, I suppose. See how this has turned out.
I guess I'll look over at Max. You got any more questions?
Not particularly. I'll say, okay, well, good luck to you. I hope this gets resolved soon.
Indeed.
I guess at the very least, this guy could be here for 4 more days for us to ask questions if we get him any more.
It does bring up an interesting thought that, while doing the foraging role, perhaps I am also keeping an eye out for this, Luglid figure.
What you call him?
Lugade.
Lugade? I don't know. I'm sorry,
Figure,
words are hard.
not the other word. Figure, not the other word.
Oh, that word. But yeah, so I'll try keeping my eye out for him while foraging out in the woods he's supposedly in.
You can make the roll, but
I had as previously as part of the macro if you want to take that one.
I also got 1 success. An 11.
Unless you want me to roll a secondary search roll for looking for him in particular or something.
you don't find any sign of him.
Well, perhaps he was wrong all along. But I did find these berries.
Those are poison!
No. The purple ones are poison. The blue ones are just fine. The red ones, though, don't use the red ones. Blue ones, they're just fine.
How many of us are colorblind?
Eeny, meeny, miny. Oh, you're all mammals, right.
Well, I guess Max will set up the 2-person tent that she has, and she and Sam will rest.
All right.
I guess the rest of us set up for the long process of putting together a pavilion? Or did we not take that with us?
We in fact have one with us.
Yep. Okay, well, Max is exhausted, but once it's set up, she'll be like, okay, let's figure this out.
You do have 4 hours while everyone else is hunting, so...
And the mercenaries all pitch in, so to speak.
Wait, figure what out?
Whatever you want to do, I suppose.
Oh, okay, I thought there was a mystery or something.
I mean, there is if you want to go do that.
Well, no, because I assume we're gonna rest for a while and then pick back up, right?
So, the idea is if we marched any more today, we'd be rolling higher exhaustion, right? So.
Yeah. Max already rolled a 1.
All right.
So yeah, let's.
I'm ready for the next day.
Indeed.
Like it.
All right. Actually, you get the end of your you go through march for about 3 hours, and you spot a raven flying above. He spots you and lands on a high tree branch and squawks down at you. Attention, good folk of the land. Know this, that Just over this hill, over the hill of the broken rock, Lugid Mac Ekoth clutches the bars of an iron cage and begs for freedom. Will no one help him?
Luke, you say? And what friend are you to him? I just kind of
I am. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the right prompt here. I am Gian Sel Isbil, a messenger of the Fiach, masters of the noonday sky. Oh, we Fiach are of feather and Filan are of fur. We are both cousins in this place, as the clouds are cousins to the rivers below.
Who's captured him?
He's been captured by a Morgana. He is held in an iron cage inside of a cave just over the broken rocks of yonder hill. He has not seen the stars of night nor the light of day for a week or more, and he starves at the hands of a cruel beast. Pray save him.
A week? Are you certain a week?
He is. He is certain that it's been a week.
Yeah, rumbling through factoids. Hagen actually said he last saw him a few days ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Interesting. Conflicting stories.
It could be some weird pagan trick. I mean, this place does have goblins and whatnot in it. Can steal your appearances or something like that, but I don't know much about supernatural. All sorts of crazy stories of evil spirits and whatnot haunt these lands.
Is there anything you're offering to help your friend?
I know we're acting as mercenaries, but not everything needs payment.
This would be a bit out of our way and truly none of our concern.
Well, I would not want to be locked in a cage by fearsome creatures.
Well, if you are not to help him, I must continue to search for one who might.
How far away is he? Do you know?
Just past yonder hill. In a cave.
Well, feeling a little bit bad for the slaughter that happened earlier, Max is inclined to say, okay, maybe we should go help him out.
Perhaps I should fly with you, and you can show me where it is, and then I will guide my friends.
Alright.
So, reconnaissance.
Grab your tokens.
It's a trap! Oh,
Is that visible?
Indeed
There's
it
a lot
is.
of black space here, but there is some white space on the left side.
As intended. Fog of War works.
oh, good.
It is a very dark cave. Did you guys grab your tokens?
We literally can't.
Ah.
Yeah, the GM has to copy paste.
Alright. Unfortunately, I drew the background on the token levels, so it's interfering with group grabs.
Ah, right. Gotta draw in background.
Yeah, I can only import my pet, and it's the wrong size when I do.
Excuse me, I need to deal with the dog. Meantime, that should be everyone.
Looks like it.
So, off the beaten path in a copse of trees growing in a boggy valley is the mouth of a cave. Outside the cave are numerous bushes, shoots, and loam that grow in the rich soil. Inside the cave, it is pitch black. And none of you have echolocation.
This is very true. However, I'm an elementalist and a man of many skills, and I can create small fires at will, fear me. Might I use that to light our way?
You may need a bit of fuel in order to avoid just having like a flash of light every 6 seconds or so.
Right. So perhaps a very sturdy stick. Is that difficult to find, or should I just go scoop it up?
You've got plant life in the area.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
there's two
actually,
of
of
me.
all things, I think I have a lantern, don't I? No, I don't. Yep, so stick of wood it is. Wait, no, I do have a hooded lantern. Aha! I will use the lantern instead of acting like a savage.
Just so you know, Rack, I'm staying very zoomed in so I don't see the whole map.
All right.
Since you know I have the ability to, but I'm really trying not to. Especially because the stream would be able to see it all.
Yes, that is a problem.
Didn't want to give away whatever secrets you have.
All right.
Also,
and as you walk,
why are we at this cave? Sorry.
Because this is supposedly where the bird says that, the other one is being held. Lugdom.
The other one.
The
Lugade.
Lugade. There we go.
Was the first one?
The other
First
one's
one was
Hagen. So,
Hagen.
Oh, okay, you meant the other one as in these two, the people that we know.
Yes.
right.
Got it, okay.
No is a very strong word.
Well, we don't know Ludum.
True.
So yeah, I guess none of us have night vision.
Nope, but I do have a lantern.
I have night vision. I'm a foxy.
Well, perhaps I'll light my lantern and you can go on far ahead of it then.
Okay. Well, I guess Sam and I will. You'll get the light, and we'll kind of stare down the tunnel and look ahead.
all right. So there is some seeps of water dribbling around along the stone floor. They start to pool against an opposite wall, but there's some kind of drain, possibly to a lower level cavern, but no hole big enough to travel through. There is a corner up there, but sunlight certainly does not go around it.
Okay. I'll gesture to the dock to. Okay, there's a corner. Move the lantern over so I can see.
Let me just approach it.
And of course, it takes a little while for eyes to adapt.
All right, Neferu will follow them in and say, Don, Rob, you two stay out here with the mounts, and one of you come get us if there's any trouble.
What do your bird eyes see, Caesar?
Cave.
Ugh.
When zoomed in, that token is all much more funny.
Right, so Caesar will go ahead and step out here and just not clog up that entire choke point.
Okay.
All right.
Max will go in cautiously first.
Max, you can see a bit further. Desmond, I am revealing the top section of there, but don't look further right than what I've revealed right now.
Like I said, I'm very tight in. Like, basically as far as the character tokens are. Oh, shit, don't. Yeah, don't zoom too far to the right. I got you.
That was not meant to be.
Much like our love.
All right. So another cave. There's trickle of water into slightly larger holes.
Can Max make an observation check to see if maybe she can hear any sounds that are not natural?
Sure.
So she's going to close her eyes and take a rote, but focus and take a minute to see if she can pick anything up. And
All right.
have one success, essentially.
I'm going to give you a D8 penalty because you've got a bunch of people in chainmail moving around behind you.
Okay, then I guess I have to roll it.
All right.
Sweet.
You managed
At a
to
7.
you managed to shush them to be quiet. And actually end up going towards one of those holes that the water's going through. You hear, let's see, one moment. Let's see. Some, I guess, fevered murmurings. Somebody who's not fully,
Somebody who's probably not fully there, who's under a lot of stress and hunger and duress.
yes.
Okay. And I can hear it through the wall?
You're actually hearing it through one of the holes the water's dripping through. Either down below or somewhere there's also water dripping through.
Okay. I'm going to speak into the hole. Can you hear me? Are you there?
This guy does not have stats.
Yeah, may as well roll to 2d6 then.
He kind of pauses for a moment and makes a inquirious noise, but cautiously.
I'll say to him, don't be afraid. We're here to help you. We're trying to find you. Do you know where you are?
Um,
We're just inside the entrance. Which direction do we go?
hmm. Not much further. Beware. The Moringa Or,
Oh.
but beware the moringa.
Ruh-roh. Fortunately, Sam doesn't have any sort of supernatural skill or dice to know what that is, so she'll say,
but
okay.
what do you know? I do.
I
You
turned
got
to,
that name from the Raven.
Indeed.
I'll
I
look
actually
at
forgot to think about that.
Oh,
I'll look at Dr.
Thought it was
Caesar and
Esper.
say, what the hell is a moringa? Is it a pie?
You know, I've been thinking about it ever since we talked to that other Raven. Let me see what I know. Is it something supernatural I should roll for?
Yes.
Let's roll.
Out of character, if it is what I think it is, this might be a real short trip.
1 success. I thought it was just a person, but
Let's see. What the Raven would have said if you'd asked: beast most foul, twice the size of a wolf, and twice as fast as a raven. Beak and feathers. Walks on 2 legs, has the fingers and thumbs.
Yeah, basically, this is a horrific beast.
why are we doing this again?
to prove to everyone that we're good people after all the murder.
Well, Max is slowly finding herself becoming more religious all of a sudden. Heloise preserve us. Well, I guess she'll continue forth with apprehension in her heart, but also some sense of bizarre curiosity.
Marching order.
I have a bad feeling about this. I'll stay, if not in the very back, at most 1 away from the back.
I mean,
Now,
I'm
Faru,
already in the very back.
Are you bringing the heir to the Rinaldi into this?
He's
And how
in,
many-
he's near the rear. He's armed and armored, so
And are you getting the mercenaries involved? Are you, or is this not in their contract?
I guess they'll figure out how badly things go first.
Caesar might actually go out and call for them. As long as we have them and we're paying them, let's have them here.
Fair enough.
All right. Can you move them, or do I?
I don't have the power.
God damn it, Scott.
Herc, you might still?
I'm there, but I'm leaving Rob and Don outside. So if you want to bring the mercs in, that's cool.
Yep.
All right. Where do you want them?
Put them, like, up here. Where's... in?
And Samalin is going to sit this one out. Fan.
Any advice you'd give?
No. Give it up as lost money if it was mine.
Well, let's just try to. Maybe we can talk to it first. Either
I
way,
have a very bad feeling about this.
Max is going to press forward, I guess.
All right. Do we have enough warm bodies in here?
No, but I think we're going in anyway.
Caesar will stand here to shine light and let it bounce around.
All right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I like to think that my low profile makes me kind of invisible in this giant group.
The low-profile gorilla, of course.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we are all animals.
Indeed, but you're a slightly larger variety than most.
Not really. Remember, you're
It's like like it says in the book, like the rhinos, like you just never notice when there's one in the room. Just kind of blends in with the background.
They're more of the furniture.
I mean, we're all humanoid-sized, so it's not like you're a tiny bird-sized bird. You're a
I
human-sized bird.
kind of am.
Well, don't rhinos start with giant?
No,
Oh,
nobody starts with giant.
Starts with something.
I mean, they get increased body, but that doesn't really mean anything. We're all typically around the same size.
Well, I'm gonna signal for the light to come forward. Come on.
With your gun?
Wiggle, wiggle.
Bam!
Wiggle, wiggle.
Come
Hi,
on!
how's it going? Ah! Too close. Personal space. Personal space. Increase body and strength, yep. That's all they get.
Yeah, I said nobody starts with giant as a species thing. Although it'd be great if dragons did.
Okay, so we found him. I think.
So he kind of flinches from the light of your lantern. As dim as it is shockingly bright to him.
Sure, because he's been in the dark for so long. Max will go up to him and say, "Easy, easy." And is he a wolf?
Yes.
Okay, Max will say, "It's okay, it's okay." Here, and she'll hand him some like dried trail, like beef jerky, essentially.
He is rather more metaphorical than usual when he wolfs it down.
Right. I'll look back at our group and say, "Does anybody have?" I assume, of course, the cage is locked. Obviously.
Yes, and slightly rusted. You can see there's a trickle of water that's going
going
under
through
the
it.
cave.
Oh, that must be horribly uncomfortable. I look around and say, "Does anybody know how to break a lock?" Out of character, does anybody have craft?
No.
yes.
The engineer certainly would.
So
I shall, I suppose,
this may
reluctantly.
give some of you PTSD, but the cage isn't so much locked as it is sealed with an iron lever that must be lifted to unbar the door.
Now, just a quick
Oh,
bit
dear.
of recollection here, but can't the engineer of our party use his magic to move Earth? And doesn't Earth count as like anything with anything in it?
It is less. Well, number one, it's heavy. The scenario calls for 3 successes on a roll of body and strength versus 3.
Right, but
Number 2, it's rusty.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, it is going to be noisy.
I would offer a number 3 in the DM's favor of there's probably at least a light mechanical gear to try to keep things like it lifting when the lever's not open.
That or whoever
Specifically to
put the bar
counteract
there
that.
is extremely strong.
Yes, the Morrigan is presumably extremely strong, and one of the reasons the Raven couldn't help him um, if you had asked, was that he is way too small to have lifted that bar.
I was actually more thinking move Earth to bend the bars, but I'm not speaking on behalf of the engineer, so I'll shut up.
No, while this is going on, I'm going to look to see if there's actually is there another passage into this room, or is this a dead end? So
Are you
while
bringing
they're-
the light down there?
Suppose I'll have to journey a little closer.
yeah, while you guys are doing that, we're going to
Mm,
see if we can figure out who else might be home.
Are you making stealth checks?
I will. I mean,
If you want me to, absolutely. I am an outlaw. I can move stealthily.
I could as well just for being here.
yeah, I've had a bad feeling this whole time, so I've been stealthing.
I am not
Just
very
quietly
stealthy.
progressing behind. That's all.
Not saying I'm particularly good at it, but. So, do you want the roll from everyone now, or just from those who've gotten close to the other entrance?
Just the ones that have gotten close to the other entrance. I'm presuming your passive stealth is enough to handle it if you're not getting that close to the other entrance.
I'm just throwing mine out there in case
Well-
shit hits the fan.
I hate to be Debbie Downer here, but unless you have the gift of skulking, if you are trying to stay hidden, you can't move. You basically have to refresh. You're sent reeling, you have to refresh, sent reeling. So you basically can hide, you just can't move around while hidden.
There's a moving stealth one too.
Okay. But Max has 2 successes for staying hidden and silent.
All right. Max, you've got low light vision. Go ahead and roll me a perception. Night vision.
Sneaking is the one where you move while hiding, which is also a stunt.
I can't see anything. Unless I can add my species die.
Let's see. What's your time of day?
For gray foxes, I think it's night or evening. Let me check. Cycle night.
All right. Go ahead and add species. This is close enough to night in here.
Nope, I can't. With the light and the darkness and things going on, I guess I can't see what's ahead if it's somebody is there.
All right. Well, you can't really hear anything above everyone else checking out the cage. So, what is the plan?
Still gotta hit that lever.
Well,
Maybe you
if
could
I
do it
were
without alerting it, Max.
if I weren't participating, I would suggest we try to get the guy out of here, run, and then seal the entrance of the cave.
I'm sure all things our engineer can do.
So, but yeah,
More along the line I was thinking of as well. Hmm. Could I perhaps make a... Would it be a digging check to try and determine the best way to collapse this very narrow entrance here?
Sure.
All right. Now, if one of you particularly, if there's anyone particularly strong who wants to try to open the cage while I consider how to do this, feel free. But if need be, I can work on that second.
How many of you have strength as a gift?
Not
I do
I.
not.
Oh, am I the only one now? Oh, I guess
I mean,
that's
I've
true.
got strength as a gift
Together.
too. I'm,
Okay.
I'm just trying to see if anyone here is stronger than me, because I didn't anticipate being the strongest guy twice.
I still got that D4 body, so
Alright, I guess
Only
Desmond
the-
will move up.
I only have a D8 body.
I
No
mean-
strength.
So, Cunnable, as far as your thing, this is unworked stone, a natural cave. So it is actually fairly sturdy. Melted calcium dripping down walls have basically given arch shapes and very pretty color, pretty shapes and pretty colors.
This
You've
seems like
seen
a-
caves.
Which of the stats should I apply to this? It kind of feels like a mind, but
Well, for like an engineer, you could probably do mind academics and digging.
well, Jim.
Sure.
Okay. So
Oof.
4 successes.
All right. So natural stone is not really something easy to collapse.
No,
Um,
or at least not safely.
this entire thing, damn it, let me get the right tool. This entire area here is actually like merged stalagmites, forming a solid wall there. There just happens to be a gap you can go around.
Huh. Okay. I suppose there is option number 2 then,
Dynamite.
which is just dirt until I fill this little tiny gap.
All right.
where exactly are you laying your plan at?
As you see where that entrance in front of Max is, that furthest point.
Okay.
So if I just start filling that with dirt, it'll probably buy us some time, if nothing else.
Well, someone still has to go through and then get back.
Well, we can bring this guy out of his cage and out to the main. It's not like we have to fight the horrifying monk cave.
Well, it would certainly be easier to hit the lever, wouldn't it?
While they're kind of going back and forth like that, thinking of it, I'll kind of whisper to Dr. Cesar, what exactly do you know about these things?
They're big and nasty. Rakidos, are they highly intelligent, or less, or animals, or...
Um,
They are intelligent. Out of character and metagame,
yes.
they're very intelligent. These were kind of like a scourge for the original inhabitants of Calabria. The Phelan and the Bisclaveret have origin stories about how they defeated them, and they are basically supernauts. But they're also very mystical, and they have all sorts of like pagan magic has like all these sorts of like pacts and rituals and things like that. But of course, Max would not know any of this, so I'm trying to make it as best I can.
Right, so Caesar is like, they're big, dangerous, intelligent, and basically took civilizations to take care of.
Oh
So,
dear.
I think our odds here are pretty good. He just says that with like a smirk.
So, spell casting quietly.
Yeah, what are
People who
the
know the system better.
Most of it is loud. I don't know if Move Earth is loud, though.
Well, I was just thinking.
Yeah,
just
check
Spells
Move
as
Earth.
weapon
spell.
100% are.
What'd you say?
The spells as weapons are definitely loud.
Well, most of the spells are just loud altogether.
Hmm.
That's why you can't really stealth around. It's like stealthing around with a shotgun. In the end, not really going to work out for you. Move Earth is not loud, no. Its descriptors are magic, earth, apprentice, and environmental. If it was loud, it would say
In this
loud
case,
there.
I think he wants create Earth.
Create Earth. Create Earth is also not loud.
All right.
Okay.
It's just magic, earth, and apprentice. Again, descriptors usually have the loud thing.
Well,
All
I
right.
flipped that apart.
So we're thinking just you
Well,
start creating rocks and just filling up that area.
Yeah, more or less.
Kunabal decided to start with pebbles instead.
Hey, man. I'm nervous here. I'm trying to stop a monstrosity.
Ha, good reference. Hey Man was the name of the monkey from that Tom Cruise musical movie. Whereas I am a gorilla.
Should we be calling you Caesar then?
No, we already have a Caesar.
anyway, so Desmond, are you going to try to raise the bar off?
I'm always raising the bar.
That's a fun.
You said it so angrily, though.
All right. So as I said, this is a difficulty 3 strength check.
Never was gonna happen then. Unless
Well-
Nefiru wants to help.
Yes, we need some assistance.
I will help.
Was never gonna happen.
So yeah, your first attempt, yeah, this thing is as heavy as it looks. No, there isn't actually a lever to it isn't actually a gear to make it easier. This thing,
It's just that
whatever
strong.
put him in here is strong.
Swole.
God, if only we had some sort of, I don't know, giant donkey-like creature that
I know, if only.
was like the strongest in the world or something. I imagine he's probably also a giant, this mystical creature that I'm imagining.
Okay, Max is going to like whisper to the group. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for here, but everybody should go around and try to help. Ready? 1, 2.
Go! Wait, what?
All right, so that's how many assists?
Probably better that I don't.
Well, here's Doc Cesar. Give me the lantern.